Andy, Paul, where are you about to take us?
So you've all heard of the Roswell crash,
Sure, who hasn't?
but have you heard of the Kecksburg crash?
Yes, I have.
Kecksburg, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
had a relatively well-known amongst our community crash in 1965 that has really kind of become an unanswered cold case.
Well, I'll confess, look, I've been hoping that we might engage this story.
You have?
You know, I know a little bit about it, as does Travis, and so this is really exciting.
So the story is that there is some kind of craft or space debris or something that came down there acorn-shaped. But what it is, or what it was, or what happened remains really kind of shrouded in mystery. There were a lot of witnesses at the time. It got a lot of coverage, and then just sort of faded from view under, it seems like, sort of a cloak of secrecy and some kind of cover-up.
We have an opportunity now to go in Kecksburg and see if we can't bring some of the most modern technology that we have available to us to try to answer the unanswered questions about what happened in this location.
This sounds pretty ambitious.
We don't know what this thing is, how it worked, or whatever, right?
Right.
Was it really a UFO? Was it a downed experimental craft that was being worked on? Who knows what it could have been?
I think we have some ambitious plans for this.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is a topic where, and an area where certainly an ambitious effort is warranted.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you find.
Absolutely.
So we're excited to get out there.
Pete, I'm happy to have you here, man. We have got a mystery for you for sure.
Andy and Paul have called in Skinwalker veteran Pete Kelsey with his expertise and technology to conduct a thorough scan of the environment surrounding the possible UFO landing in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania.
All I know is some kind of an impact site, right?
Right.
From what we understand through third-hand information, the impact site might actually be in this wash area right behind us.
It sounds like this thing came down in this area, right in here. We're not exactly sure where. That's what we're hoping you can help us figure out.
Well, as you guys know, typically the tools that I bring have to do with physical evidence, right, on the ground. I brought all the usual suspects, LiDAR and the SLAM scanner. If one of you guys want to scan, I can be watching the data coming in on the tablet in real time.
I'm happy to stomp around, sure.
Handheld LiDAR, also known as a SLAM scanner, uses laser light to map out an area. It measures the time it takes for the laser to bounce back after hitting an object and uses that collected data to create a detailed 3D model of the environment.
I just want to make sure we see data, and then you're off.
Good to go. Here we go.
LiDAR technology also has the ability to strip away layers of vegetation to visualize the topography of a site, which can reveal areas not easily detected by the naked eye.
We know we're looking for something that happened in the past. We have these dense woods, and we need a piece of tech that allows us to scrape away the layers of the current in order to get backwards in time, and the SLAM scanner is exactly the kind of tool to make that happen. Well, I would love to get eyes on the data that you were able to collect, see if that can't point us in the next direction.
I'm going to get busy on that.
Okay. Thanks, Pete.
Andy and Paul returned to Kecksburg to learn Pete Kelsey's handheld LiDAR results from the possible UFO crash site.
Look at this right here. I cut my teeth in civil engineering and land surveying. That's man-made earthwork because it's level against this otherwise very steep slope. Straight lines, right angles, those kind of things do not occur in nature, right? And then when you rotate the view like I've done here and you see it has a level bottom.
I mean, this is right where we were walking. Is this evidence 60 years later of that impact? We looked at it with our own eyes. There's no level ground down there, so that's a remnant of something that's no longer visible.
Andy, Paul, and Pete decide to go back to replicate their experiments in the exact spot.
This is it right here?
Up there, yeah. You see how it feels like a pad? It's sort of leveled out, and then it sort of ends abruptly right there.
Now they'll check the radio spectrum at the newly discovered area of interest.
Pop the RF scanner. There's a peak at 1.638.
Are they significant peaks? Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. 1.74.
That's not the same spectrum that we saw when we were here the first time.
Right. So yeah, we've moved, what, 20 feet, totally different spectrum.
That's strange.
The one difference from here to there is this is what it was indicated on the LiDAR as you know, something unusual that maybe suggests that this is the actual impact site. But that would not explain how it could have such a different radio signature with nothing in between here and there.
Unless it's hyper-localized, unless it exists here and doesn't exist over there, we could take the spectrum analyzer right over there and find out right now.
Yeah, I mean, how could that be? How could the signal differ across such a short distance?
We can test it. We can take it right over there and see if that same signal is present right now.
Okay, let's just walk it up. Look at that, it actually did completely change.
Wow, Pete, look at this.
It actually did completely change.
It's totally different.
It's dead.
It's a completely different
flat.
signal.
Look at that. We've gone, what, 20 feet?
That's unbelievable.
That's like not within the realm of possible,
No,
right?
no,
That makes
I'm
sense at all.
stunned. This doesn't make any sense. How is there a radio signal in one place that doesn't exist just a few feet away? That's not how radio energy works. That's not how frequencies work. The only reason that we were brought here was because of Pete's LiDAR data. And now that we're here, we're getting even more evidence that suggests that there really was something strange that happened on this spot, in this ravine, in Kecksburg. We might have actually found the real crash site. That might explain why we have so many localized anomalous readings right here that we don't see anywhere else in this valley.
Thanks, Pete, for pointing that out on the LiDAR. We would have never found this otherwise.
Yeah, this is a great find.
Amazing.
Yeah, we got to share this with Travis and Erik.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, welcome back to the ranch. I want to hear about your findings at Chestnut Ridge.
I think it exceeded our expectations, but it left so many more questions and answers. If you recall, we went out there first to kind of dig into what happened in Kecksburg in 1965. The reported landing or crashing of some sort of acorn-shaped object from the sky. So we called in Pete Kelsey, and then when we did get Pete's results, they were really quite telling. It made us ask ourselves the question, in that specific depression, what else could we measure in that site?
Because we're walking what? You can see 20 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that, it actually did completely change.
Wow, Pete, look at this.
It actually did completely change.
It's totally different.
It's dead.
See, that right there is fantastic data.
Look at that. We've gone, what, 20 feet?
That's unbelievable.
So I'd like to stop you here and ask a question. What I just watched was contiguous footage. There was no cut. There was no editorial process there.
That is correct.
Physically walked in my hand 20 feet. That's it.
You dropped 55 dB in 20 feet. I mean, you've got the numbers right here. 55 dB, that's ginormous
Orders of
change.
magnitude.
Many orders of magnitude change. And here's another piece that should be the opposite of this. You guys were down in a hole,
Right.
right?
In a ravine.
And as you walked uphill, the signal should have got stronger as you walked uphill because there's less terrain blocking from wherever it could be coming from, unless it's coming from down there in that hole. What is this signal doing there? That doesn't add up. That is just too much. Here on the ranch, when we get it, we usually see some kind of phenomena occur. We see something, we expect, okay, somehow or other, the source is with whatever this is, or this is causing it, it's a byproduct or something. This looks like it's just coming out of the dadgum ground.
Right.
Or it's a beam coming from somewhere else hitting the ground. So that shouldn't be there. Anyway, whatever that is, it shouldn't be there.
Either we've got something active, something energizing that space in the RF today, and for who knows how long, or we've got some kind of residual from the event.
So what you have shown is there is something very odd about that particular point in Kecksburg.
You're talking about getting concrete evidence of something, what did you say, 60 years?
60 years ago.
Did a little beacon fall off of whatever that acorn-shaped thing was?
With a
and it's still
60-year
there?
battery?
With a 60-year battery, yeah, right? I'm thinking right now of all sorts of different things that we need to go back and do. This place to me is absolutely fascinating and bizarre. Good work, guys. I didn't think you were going to come back with this, that's for sure.
Yeah, neither did we.
It's good to see you guys back. What do you guys want to do for us next?
If you recall, one of our special projects from our first year's investigation was a gentleman named Chris Bledsoe.
Last year, Andy and Paul traveled to North Carolina to meet with Chris Bledsoe, who says he had an extraterrestrial encounter in 2007.
This fire was swirling and these little flames were shooting off of it. I never thought about UFOs, but I knew it wasn't anything that we had.
Chris claims that afterward, he formed a connection with the phenomenon.
It came out of the sky, and when I came on, the phenomena came into the house.
This experience gave Chris the ability to seemingly communicate and directly interact with orbs.
I'm broadcasting my intentions in every direction, and I'm asking them to come and share their experience tonight with us. It's time right now. Here it comes. You see it coming? Yeah. What the hell?
I don't know what this is.
Andy and Paul called in neuroscientist Dr. James Thompson to take an EEG of his brain when interacting with the orbs and recorded stunning results.
The state change that occurs in the presence of the orb, which is instantaneous, it's really only held by the highest level meditators. You look at a Buddhist monk, they can move into this state.
Oh, yeah. This was a very interesting experiment that these guys did.
I think what we found coming out of our first round of investigations with him and the EEG was that there is some kind of effect on his brain. There is something different biologically that happens when he believes he's in contact with the phenomenon.
The question is it a physical stimulus or is it a psychological stimulus?
If we can't add a more clinical way of studying Chris's brain, because if you recall, our first experiment happened in the field. We would like to find a way to put more controlled elements around that experiment to see if we can't recreate or even advance some of what we've learned about Chris's brain.
I mean, one possibility we think, and I think this would be interesting to you guys as well, is taking him to the Monroe Institute. You know, studies of deep consciousness, where a lot of this research has been going on for decades. They have some facilities there that are pretty unique. We think, you know, that's something that'll intrigue Dr. Thompson as well.
So it sounds like we're planning on an EEG exercise, electroencephalogram study of what's going on in real time, perhaps as he engages, which is a very interesting avenue to go down because there's talk about the effect of orbs on human neurophysiology.
Well, this will be an interesting exercise.
I'm looking forward to the results from that.
Yes, me too.
All right.
Good luck.
Cool. Thank you. This is a beautiful place. Look at this.
The team will meet with neuroscientist Dr. James Thompson at the Institute to do a more controlled set of tests with Chris.
I am super excited about this experiment. Dr. James Thompson, thank you so much for coming back.
Pleasure.
In last year's investigation near Chris's home in North Carolina, Dr. Thompson ran brainwave tests on Chris to see what happened to him when he saw orbs using an electroencephalogram, or EEG. An EEG uses electrodes on the scalp to detect and record the location, frequency, and strength of electrical signals sent to different areas of the brain, and can give an analysis of a person's brain waves when they are experiencing different events. In 2023, using EEG technology, the team was able to capture data of Chris's brain when orbs appeared.
Just had a sighting. We just had a sighting.
He's pointing.
Oh, wow. We're going to have you in this copper enclosed room. You're going to be lying in the bed. We've got people outside, and we've got the cameras outside monitoring the sky. And when you sense a phenomenon, react to it as you naturally would. And we'll be capturing the data outside, and we'll be capturing the data inside of your brain, inside this copper room.
Wonderful.
The copper room is a modified Faraday cage, an enclosed room lined with copper, designed to prohibit any kind of energy within or outside the room from penetrating the walls in either direction. The question is, will Chris be able to sense the orbs without being able to see them, while also being completely shielded from any known measurable energy that the phenomenon might communicate to him? and how will his brain react?
And here we go. We've got the screens rolling.
All right, man. I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
I'll be on standby. You got me via walkie?
Yep.
And away we go.
See you, gents.
Okay.
This is such an interesting experiment, right? Because the copper room, really what it does is seal Chris off electromagnetically from the outside world. There's no way, as far as we know, that he can still connect with the phenomenon.
Hey, Paul, this is Andy.
Copy you, Andy.
I'm in location. All cameras are running. We're ready to rock and roll.
Very good.
Chris is in position. There's also the question of whether the copper shielding actually shields him from whatever it is, whatever his connection is.
Yep.
Andy, he's gesturing.
Okay.
Copy that, sir. We've got eyes on the sky. Son of a... That's unbelievable.
Despite being completely isolated, he just seemed to identify an orb in the sky.
Andy, he's pointing to this. He's pointing to the sky.
Copy that. We're eyes on, trying to find something now.
Still pointing. Now he just dropped his arm.
Good copy. We're still scanning. Nothing so far.
Copy you. Andy, he's signaling.
Copy that. We've got eyes on the sky.
Hey, Andy, why don't you come on back in and we'll get our heads together here.
All right, man. Copy that. Coming to you.
Hey, Chris, we're gonna wrap it up. Do you want to come on out?
Sure, great.
Although Andy didn't film corresponding UAP activity 2 of the 3 times when Chris signaled it, the production team has reviewed all the cameras pointed at the sky during the experiment and have compiled some surprising correlations.
There was so much space. There were so many dimensions of removal here that to even here, we actually have footage now that correlates with Chris's hand raises. I'm very curious to see what this looks like. All right, inside the copper room.
Chris's first signal, during which Andy captured an orb on his infrared camera,
Son of a... That's unbelievable.
also featured another hit on the UFODAP camera in another part of the sky.
So this is an airplane. You can see it flashing.
Whoa,
Whoa,
what was that?
Did you see that? There's our streaker.
Yep.
Wow, and to think that that correlated with Chris raising his hand inside the copper room?
That's wild.
That's totally
It's
wild.
barely perceptible.
Chris was in an insulated room. Insulated by like 3 walls. Like the room was inside of a room, which was inside of a house.
Right.
Not to mention the fact that it was enclosed in copper. To even hear that there was any kind of correlation between when Chris was raising his hand and what we were seeing outside, anything at all, was kind of shocking in the moment.
Right.
I mean, that really goes to show the correlation between your sense and what's happening in the sky above us. Right there.
It was.
So here's another event, Chris, where you were able to show a signal with your hand.
Boy, that's a quick one, too.
That correlates with some kind of activity in the sky.
Yeah, see it doing a wag?
Oh, yeah.
See, it's
Look at it.
curve a little bit.
Yeah, it's swimming like a fish.
Yeah.
That's what I call a streaker. They don't go straight, they all do this number.
Wow.
And here again, Chris is inside the copper room, isolated from electromagnetic fields.
That's absolutely flabbergasting, man. Let's take a look at the next clip.
The next footage from the thermal camera correlates with the 3rd time that Chris sensed an orb.
Here it comes, coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. How did we miss that? And the copper room is there to block any kind of electromagnetic signal from getting in or out.
Right.
So whatever your relationship is with the phenomenon, it's not electromagnetic.
It bypasses all that.
Yeah. I don't know how you sensed that. I don't know how you did that.
I wish I knew how or what. I have no idea.
Teach us.
It's just I got the same signals that I get when I'm out looking at the sky.
Fascinating.
What an interesting start.
That's great.
Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Well, Paul and Andy, it's good to have you back at the ranch. What do you got for us?
We want to go back to Miller Ranch, a place in southern Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
The ranch where we went originally to investigate the incredible amount of cattle mutilations in a very short period of time.
Over the years, they've had some like 10 or 20 cattle mutilations there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only ranch in the area that had any kind of history like this.
Andy and Paul's research of cattle mutilations at Thomas Miller Ranch led them to a bridge that could hold clues to how their cattle are being mutilated.
I think something lifts them up, does their thing, and then drops them down.
All evidence points to the bridge.
Yeah.
Their last investigation revealed there could be some sort of time-based anomaly or portal at the bridge, just like the triangle at Skinwalker Ranch.
There's data underground. Also, this anomalous data that's in the air. What we're seeing is impossible. It's not possible.
This is like another Skinwalker Ranch. The parallels are stunning.
This will be our third trip back to Miller Ranch.
And this time we want to go back with a very specific objective. We want to try to get much more aggressive with whatever the phenomenon is above the bridge so that we can try to define it more and identify if there is, and to what extent there may be, a relationship between the Millers themselves and the phenomenon over the bridge.
The bridge might be the nexus of whatever the phenomena is, or the stimulus, or the doorway that they're slipping through, and these cows are coming in and out through that somehow.
So we've been talking about a physical bridge, but we may be dealing with a bridge of an entirely different kind.
Yes. I think this is an ideal place to continue to follow up on. Maybe it'll lead us to some answers.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Ready to go?
Ready to rock.
Good luck, guys.
Go forth boldly.
Yeah, right there. You good?
In preparation for their next experiment, the team works with local law enforcement to safely shut down the Miller Ranch Bridge.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Look who's
Cameron.
here. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, man, thanks for coming out. Great to see you.
Let's set up Tesla coils first and bring out our equipment afterwards.
Yeah, set them up.
During their first investigation at Miller Ranch, Andy and Paul conducted a Tesla coil experiment under the bridge that triggered UAPs. Now they're setting up the Tesla coils again, but this time they're placing them on top of the bridge in the area where Pete Kelsey found evidence of a portal with his photogrammetry drone.
I can't explain it. This anomalous data that's in the air, it shouldn't be there. And Travis and Erik were saying that's where some space-time something is the only thing with our current understanding of physics that could explain it.
Like a portal.
Yeah.
If you don't mind just giving us a quick test to make sure all the equipment's working.
Okay.
The team will flood the Miller Ranch Bridge with up to 300,000 volts of electrical energy, hoping to once again stimulate UAPs, strange radio spectrum communication, or even find further evidence of a portal above the bridge.
All right, we're all set. We're rocking and rolling, man. We've got full power and everything's functioning normally.
Evening, guys.
Hey, Sally. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Tom.
Good to see you, ma'am.
With everything up and running, the team welcomes the Millers and is ready to put their Tesla coils to the test.
Roadblocks are up.
All right, I'm ready to rock. The road is shut down. The Tesla coils are plugged in. Tom, Sally, you've seen us have this set up on multiple parts of your ranch. This is our FAA tracker. We're going to use this to rule out any aircraft that are actively transmitting a signal. Here we've got a satellite tracker. This is giving us all the satellite activity that's happening all around the world.
How exciting.
This is our spectrum analyzer, registering our RF spectrum right now. And then here you've got our outputs for our two UFO DAPs. These are our eyes in the sky, AI-powered machines that are designed to be watching the sky at all times because we're going to be watching everything else. If they find something that doesn't fit their AI index of pre-recorded data, then they'll zoom in, record, and alert us.
The arcs are going to come off the side and go down into the bridge. And you'll see them spider out into the asphalt. It's really cool looking.
So this is what baseline looks like right now. And if we see changes with radio energy, if we see changes when we have any kind of UAP activity overhead, that will confirm for us that there's some sort of correlation between the two.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
Okay.
rock and roll.
Okay, coming up.
All right. Wow, look at that.
Keep going up.
Let's keep going.
40. You want to go up?
Yeah.
Max.
That's 300. Some baseline variation. Paul. That's happening across multiple frequencies, you see?
Yeah.
What could that be?
As Cameron increases the electrical energy of the Tesla coils on top of the bridge, the team measures a correlating increase in radio energy on the spectrum analyzer, which makes no scientific sense because adding electrical energy should not relate to receiving a radio frequency response.
I mean, look at this. Is unlike anything we were seeing in our baseline.
Whoa.
That's huge.
Is that normal?
I don't know if you noticed, we've got a little arc over on the coil on the right.
What do you mean by arc over?
It's when an arc hits the copper tube. I think that one's toast.
All right. Do you normally see that the coils break if you put them through this much energy?
Typically, the wind or moisture on the coil itself from dew or condensation in the air will cause it to arc back to itself. We don't have that tonight.
Tell us if we're not understanding it right, but does it feel dry and calm to you here?
It does.
So somehow your dry, calm Colorado night isn't so calm at all.
We know our ground is good, or the other coil would suffer the same problem. Something drew that arc to the coil itself, and that's all she wrote.
It seemed like it was playing with us, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't explain it.
So guys, well, I know Travis and I both are just anxious to find out what happened on this third visit to Miller Ranch.
This was an incredible trip.
It really was.
All right, here's our first clip.
That jumped away quick. Okay, now go frame of time.
So there's our first big breakaway from the actual UFO-DAB tracking box. From 9587 to 9590, so 3 frames.
That's
There, right there, stop, right there.
Yep.
It's way down there.
How many frames is it?
From 90 to 92,
So
2 frames.
2 frames. It covered most of the field of view.
But then it decelerates right there.
Yeah, it jumped, then it slows down. So that's clearly not a satellite. It's not an airplane.
No.
Something makes it jump, that big jump. Is it an optical aberration, or did it accelerate that fast? So tell me where I'm looking. Is this thing right by you, looking up through where Pete Kelsey's drone had the phenomena occur?
Yes, sir.
So if there is a time anomaly at the bridge, you've found the edges, because you see it moving normal, then you see it jump, and then you see it slow down and move normal again, which suggests where the jumps are is it's behind whatever your time shift, a space, something else, whatever this is, right? Yeah, I'm not saying it's a wormhole, a gateway to another universe. It could be an optical distortion. It could be anything.
Yep.
In fact, we actually measured something like that here over the triangle with Pete Kelsey's terrestrial LiDAR scanner back in the summer.
That would make this another data point that correlates with the triangle here on Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Every time we visit Miller Ranch, we seem to come back with another solid data point that correlates the bridge and the area over the bridge, the anomaly over the bridge, with the anomaly over the triangle here at Skinwalker Ranch.
It really cross-correlates well with Skinwalker Ranch. And then here's the other big question. What is this anomaly doing near a place where all of these cattle mutilations seem to be occurring?
Right, which is where we started.
Yeah. I can think of 5 probably follow-up experiments that need to be done, including tandem experiments that we do here than we do there simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, guys. Good, great work.
Awesome. Agreed. This is goodness, guys.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Andy and Paul are continuing their investigation with UAP experiencer Chris Bledsoe and his daughter Emily in a remote, unpopulated, dark sky area in the Florida Everglades. Last week, Andy and Paul brought Chris to the world-renowned Monroe Institute, a research center focused on the study of human consciousness, to do controlled brainwave tests. With the help of Dr. Thompson, they first studied Chris with Paul as a control subject and found their brains seemed to react differently to orbs that appeared.
Paul's a little more cognitive. Right now he's thinking about things, whereas Chris's brainwaves are larger and slower.
Next, they isolated Chris in a completely sealed-off copper room that blocked the energy of the outside world to see if he'd have brainwave interactions with orb phenomena, and he did.
Andy, he's gesturing.
Paul, I see an orb right here, flying overhead. Son of a... That's unbelievable.
Now, they're capping off the Bledsoe brain experiment by bringing in a new test subject, Chris's daughter, Emily, who claims to have a similar relationship with the phenomena, despite not having been at her father's original reported encounter.
I was 10 years old when the Cape Fear River incident happened, and I just remember believing my dad 100%. Very soon after, the phenomenon started showing around me, and it hasn't stopped since.
They want to further test Emily's seemingly unique relationship with the phenomenon. They've also brought in Beyond Skinwalker veteran Steve Priola, an ex-cinematographer who's developed a unique way to film orbs in the night sky.
Hey, Steve.
Gentlemen, so the thing about this camera is you have to be at the right place at the right time. And with Chris here, the odds are pretty good that we're gonna see something. So that's why we're bringing this to the table, and I think it's gonna work out great.
That's the idea. We've got all the pieces in place. Just gotta wait for nightfall, which won't be long.
Right?
In addition to monitoring Chris and Emily in perfect conditions to document potential orb sightings, the team wants to test a claim that the phenomenon appears to be amplified when both of them are together. For the first time, Andy and Paul have trekked their monitoring tools into the swamp to detect energies present during any interaction Chris and Emily have with orbs, including their spectrum analyzer, which records Earth to space and space to Earth communication.
So I'm going to be monitoring a number of different tools from this space station here, while we're relying on you guys to kind of point us in the direction of any activity that you see. But we have multiple ways of looking at what's happening in the radio spectrum. We have a way of ruling out aircraft with our FAA tracker, and ruling out satellites with our satellite tracker here. And then we have UFO DAPs watching the sky constantly, our AI-powered eyes in the sky that you remember from the Monroe Institute.
Flash up there. Yeah.
Overhead?
Overhead, yeah. I mean, it's gone now. It was very quick.
Paul.
Yes, sir.
We had something interesting happen in the radio spectrum, just as Emily pointed out.
Is
what
that
she
right?
just saw. Yeah, come take a look at this. This just came to life.
Wow.
And this is exactly what Erik talks about when he talks about, you see how the peak keeps moving?
That, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So this was a quiet spectrum until Emily called out whatever it was she saw in the sky.
Look at that. The way that peak is sort of just oscillating back and forth.
Right. So we're at 1.692 gigahertz, just under 1.7 gigahertz.
It's strange. I don't think we've ever seen anything just like that.
No.
Straight up. It's very faint. Do you see it, Dad?
Look at that.
And then it disappeared. And look what they did. She connected arms with him.
Sure.
I already saw him over here.
They definitely know we're here. That was just a little grainy.
But there certainly seems to be some interesting activity in the radio spectrum for sure.
Getting a lot of weird little pulses between 1.69 and 1.7. Hey, Andy, what if we try to find the source of that signal?
Yeah, let's see if we can. You got the log periodic right here?
with the spectrum analyzer detecting a signal in the 1.6 to 1.7 gigahertz range, which is being sent from Earth to space or space to Earth, the team will now use their log periodic antenna. By rotating this directional antenna 360 degrees, it can isolate and hone in on the exact direction where the radio signal is transmitting from.
All right, man.
All right.
Ready when you are.
Start swinging through.
Wait. Backtrack for me. Stop right there. So there are changes. I want you to watch for changes in intensity, and then look at where the antenna is focused during those changes, right? So expect the pattern to stay the same, but watch the change in energy
Look
intensity.
for a spike.
All right, here we go, counterclockwise.
Tell you what, Andy, right about here, we've got a bit of a drop-off.
That's exactly what I thought I saw too. The pattern is still there, but the intensity is less.
Go back a little bit.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. So I wanted you to see that without me saying anything. Yeah, for sure there's a difference.
It's definitely higher now.
So we see this consistent pattern of energy.
Right.
And we see this level of intensity, these high peaks, when the directional antenna is focused in their direction.
Right. And it really drops off at 180.
When we turn it away from them.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Why would that happen?
I don't know, man. I mean, it implies that something is transmitting at them.
Right. One of the things that Paul and I discovered from the command post while you all were focused on the woods is that we saw some sort of unique signature, a radio signature, that seemed to be focused on where you were, localized to you.
And not only that, it's in a frequency bandwidth where there should be no activity at all.
Right, we were at 1.692 gigahertz, which is a frequency zone that's reserved for US federal government use only, and for Earth to space and space to Earth communication.
Wow.
It's almost like there's a frequency from Earth to space somehow connected to us.
That's where we're landing as well. That somehow there's energy that's tied to your being together, your being connected to the phenomenon at the same time. I don't know what it is, but what I do know is it doesn't happen that way for other people.
It shouldn't be happening at all to anybody.
It's almost like the phenomenon uses that frequency to communicate somehow, and we've somehow tapped
Connect
into
to it somehow, yeah.
That's as good a hypothesis as we've got. Well, we've got a lot of data.
Yeah, I mean, this was a fantastically successful night.
Yeah. Let's pack up, let's dry our feet, and start reviewing the data.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good.
Well, welcome back, guys. You've had some incredible travels. I mean, you've managed to cross the entire continental United States in service to this expanded investigation.
We've been in the heat, we've been in the cold, and now we've been actually in one of the darkest places in the continental US with Chris Bledsoe, and I tell you, we've got some really interesting stuff to show you.
We didn't have our biggest breakthrough until after we had left for the night and started reviewing some of our footage. So the first thing I want to share with you is this.
Whoa.
Look at the way this one moves through space and seems to touch down in a way.
It's reflecting off the ground.
Far in the distance.
Yeah.
Right? Like that.
No, it's reflecting off the ground, or at least that's what it appears.
But nobody's walking back out there.
And you guys didn't see this, right?
Nope.
So I get the feeling there's a story with this. I'm really interested in the timeline here.
Was there some exercise being conducted with Chris around this period of time?
So what we discovered from the timeline was that Steve found that the timestamp on this image was at 6:50 p.m.
Okay.
And if you recall, the spectrum analyzer results that we were just showing you started up when the first sighting happened between Chris and Emily. That first sighting happened at 6:51 p.m.
So within 1 minute.
Right. And that's
you have this event caught on camera coupled with the UAP, with the other unidentified aerial phenomena. I think the correlations, the people, the participants involved, the setting, the remote setting where this occurred, where you really don't have light pollution. You're in a very remote area, and then you couple with that the correlation within seconds of UFO activity. I think congratulations, gentlemen. I think we have a bona fide, unidentified aerial phenomena event. Incredible. All right, gentlemen, welcome back. We're thrilled to come back together with you. I've been researching a number of other sites over the course of the last few years, and one in particular that keeps coming up is Mount Shasta in Northern California. Mount Shasta seems to be a center of gravity for phenomena that is very similar to what we've been seeing here at Skinwalker Ranch. Everything from UFO or UAP phenomena to electromagnetic anomalies, strange creatures, and other activity that has been reported for decades, if not millennia, and people seem drawn to that area. It has a very profound impact.
So it sounds like there's an entire community of experiencers then who may be resources for the research.
Indeed. We have some boots on the ground there that I've been collaborating with. In particular,
the local sheriff, Jeremiah LaRue. I mean, this is an area where there's going to be a lot of reports, whether they're official, whether they're on file or not. We'll just see what we find.
Well, this feels like the moment where we say, go forth and conquer.
But I think it's more like conquer and go forth.
There you go. Good luck, guys. Can't wait to see what you find.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, gentlemen.
This place has been really a pilgrimage, maybe for millennia. What's your take on what is the story of this place?
This mountain puts out a lot of energy. I've talked to a lot of people that have come here, and it's all different. People describe speaking telepathically. They seek healing. They seek, maybe a revelation of some kind. I mean, obviously, it's beautiful. It's wide open. You have a great shot of Mount Shasta. It draws a lot of people to this area.
Yeah.
And then we, of course, have the aerial phenomena that is unique to the area. We actually get quite a few calls up here for people that are just seeing things that they don't normally see. Whether it's orbs in the sky, whether it's actual craft, or people that have been out hiking, skiing, and they report seeing figures 7 feet tall, and they were glowing. They don't have backpacks, they don't have skis with them. There's no reason that they would see them in some of these remote areas.
And I think this would be a potentially great location for a night investigation because we have equipment to observe the night sky. Is this someplace we could set up tonight?
This is an excellent place.
Fantastic. Let me touch base with Andy. We'll get the gear up here and we'll get started.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
With a perfect vantage point at the base of Mount Shasta, Andy, Paul, and Sheriff LaRue will conduct an experiment at night to see if they can capture evidence of a UAP.
So I want to walk you through a little bit of the equipment that we have here real quick. So what we're looking at here is a thermal imaging camera. This is the most sophisticated version of FLIR. It's high definition, and it wasn't available to us last year in any of our experimentations, and it's never set foot on Skinwalker Ranch.
The FLIR T1030 is a high-definition thermal camera that has a long-range capability to capture the environment's heat signatures and convert them into digital video images.
This has never been available outside of the military before, and that's trained on Mount Shasta. That's going to be our best friend for seeing anything outside of the visible spectrum. Here and here, we got flight tracker data, satellite tracker data. So we're always trying to rule out aircraft and any sightings that we see overhead.
Right.
Here, we have two tools called UFODAPs. These are our eyes in the sky, AI-powered machines that are designed to be watching the sky at all times because we're going to be watching everything else. If they find something that doesn't fit their AI index of pre-recorded data, then they'll zoom in, record, and alert us. So if we do see something in the sky, then we'll be able to actually record it and enhance the light that it's giving us so that we'll be able to really see it clearly.
Awesome. Shouldn't miss anything then.
It's a lot of comfort blankets because we really only get one chance to set it up tonight, right? Right. So if you hear something strange, if you smell something strange, start tasting something strange, don't be embarrassed to say anything that seems or feels strange. I'm gonna search through the radio spectrum, Paul.
Super quiet, huh?
It's a really stable spectrum.
Not a lot of air traffic either.
You know, we do have one kind of creative thing on standby. We have a tone generator. The Skinwalker team has had investigations where we've seen some kind of response that comes from actual auditory tones at specific frequencies. So it might be worth us running a couple of frequencies up against the environment and seeing if it causes any kind of response.
I think a Skinwalker, the frequency is 192, right?
192 hertz, I have it set.
Now, Andy and Paul will play back the same 192 hertz tone here at Mount Shasta to see if they can trigger a similar result.
All right, here we go. Oh, Paul, this is totally different. Look at this.
Where are we now? 1.4?
1.485.
When radio frequencies from 1.4 to 1.8 gigahertz are seen on a spectrum analyzer, that indicates Earth to space or space to Earth communication. It might also signal the presence of a UAP.
We've got multiple peaks here, 1.52 gigahertz. And now they're totally gone. Let me stop the tone generator.
It did seem to correspond with the tone.
It really did. Oh, there it goes again. You see it?
That's like a...
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. What is that?
Whoa.
Look at this. 1.71 gigahertz. There's tons of energy, and you can see how sporadic it is. It's not clean.
This is just all over the place.
All over the place. Look at that. And it started up out of nowhere.
What was that?
Oh, UFO depth.
Whoa.
Just found something. Did you see that?
I didn't.
Boom.
Okay.
It's against the coldest part of the sky. You see that?
Yeah.
Let me take it slide by slide, frame by frame.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
It kind of wobbles.
It does wobble. That way. Look at that. It's like moving like a fish, right? You see that?
Oh, whoop, got another object. Darted straight across from right to left, 45-degree angle.
FLIR is popping.
For all we know, the visual orbs that are being reported are just a fraction of all the orb activity because they're not using thermal imaging technology.
This may be something completely new, a thermal orb.
Let's take a look at that footage. Here's the orb you saw, off to the right here. Look at this guy.
Oh, that's the one coming.
This is the one that disappears.
Look right here.
Oh,
There's
whoa,
another
whoa,
one.
what?
There's the second one. Yeah, there you go.
We were
at
so
these
busy
two.
with that, I didn't even see that one.
Hold on. That was two objects. Did you notice how they had the same shape?
Yeah. Yep.
Similar trajectories. They appeared at the same time.
Different speeds.
Totally different speeds. One of the things that I can't ignore is the fact that these objects that we see on the FLIR seem to be going towards Mount Shasta. Whether we see slow-moving orbs or fast-moving orbs or groups of orbs, they all seem to be centering on Mount Shasta as their destination. I don't know what this is. I have no explanation for this. It's kind of freaking me out.
What are these hot, high-speed objects?
And they're outside of the visible spectrum.
Right.
I mean, is this normal?
Oh, I've never seen anything like it before.
Those are clearly objects moving at speed, not just some sort of weird temperature anomaly.
I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, man. There's this, that's still going. Once we trigger the 192 hertz tone that we borrowed from Skinwalker Ranch, that's when we really started tracking to multiple changes. But what has me fascinated right now with what's going on in the FLIR is the continuity. The continuity in terms of the temperature signature that each of those anomalies is putting off. They're within the same range of each other.
Right.
The shape, the size, they're consistent.
Yeah, it brings up just a lot more questions.
Right.
Like we're asking. What are these things?
We'll dig into it as much as we can, and anything we learn, we'll be sure to pass your way.
Great. Love to hear.
All right, gentlemen. We've been anxious to hear your findings. What do you have for us?
Well, I think Mount Shasta delivered.
Yeah.
Is the top line here.
This is gonna blow you away. We had multiple UAP sightings on both the UFODAP and on our thermal camera.
All of that happened after we played the tone.
After we triggered the 192 hertz tone.
Yeah, wow.
Skinwalker tone.
The FLIR hits that I'm about to show you now were all captured in real time. From the upper right-hand side of the screen, you see these two orbs that are heat signatures. It looks like it either goes behind the mountain or possibly into the mountain.
They're only UAPs right now because we don't know what they are.
Correct.
Right? They could turn out to be something completely explainable.
I mean, we've got the flight tracker and the satellite tracker running.
You're not seeing satellites or airplanes, but whatever that was flying in the air, it was as warm, or at least as reflective, to appear to be the same color temperature. So that's really interesting. It makes me think it may have been putting out its own light.
I'm glad we have this instrument. We didn't have this instrument in our inventory during the first phase of our work together. Right. So this is really a nice new piece of tech.
What we see here is a definite correlation to what we have experienced here at Skinwalker Ranch. Really begs the question, what is going on beneath Mount Shasta? There is legitimacy to the lore.
Yeah, I feel like you haven't just put a pin in the map, you've really put a golden spike in the map on this one.
Let's use this as a springboard, and I can't wait to see what we dig up next.